Welcome to another season of TurboTax Tips. Real advice for real people. Get your taxes done right anytime, from anywhere. Putting money in certain retirement or medical savings accounts can actually lower your tax bill for the year. However, the available tax breaks can't be greater than the annual contribution limit for the particular type of account. We'll take a look at the 401k, IRA, and HSA contribution limits for the 2025 tax year in Part 4 of What's New in 2026. This information will be helpful when you file your return in 2026. Let's start with 401k plans. If you contribute to a traditional 401k at work, the money you put into the account up to the annual contribution limit isn't included in your taxable income for the year. Anything over the limit is taxed that year. If you're under 50 years old, the contribution limit for 401k plans increased from $23,000 to $23,500 for 2025. If you're at least 50 years old, the limit is $31,000, which is up from $30,500 for the previous year. And new for 2025, there's a higher contribution limit for people 60 to 63 years old, which is $34,750. Now let's look at IRAs. Contributions to a traditional IRA are generally deductible up to that year's contribution limit. However, the deduction can be reduced, potentially to zero, if you or your spouse have access to a workplace retirement plan and your income is above a certain amount. The 2025 contribution limit for IRAs stays at $7,000 or $8,000 if you're 50 and over. Contributions to health savings accounts are also generally deductible up to the annual contribution limit. For 2025, you can contribute up to $4,300 if you have self-only health insurance coverage. That's up from $4,150 for 2024. If you have family coverage, the 2025 limit is $8,550, which is up from $8,300 for the previous year. Also, note that you can put money in an IRA or HSA for the 2025 tax year until April 15, 2026. That's the deadline for filing your 2025 tax return. That's all for today. Remember, with TurboTax, our easy process takes the guesswork out of filing your taxes. For more information about deductions and other topics, visit TurboTax.com. And don't forget to tune in for another episode of TurboTax Tips, because doing your taxes is easier than you think.